guys, it is Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I'm here with my first ever original book tag, and I'm really excited. So it is Christmas, it is holiday season, and we are all getting into that holiday cheer, so I decided what would be best than making a book tag all about the Twas the Night Before Christmas story. So I've taken 2 lines from each verse in the story and I've come up with a kind of question, and you just have to pick a book. So we have a few to go through, and there's 12 verses, so there are 12 different questions, and I will just get straight into it. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. A book that kept you up all night, and for this one I'm going to choose If I Stay by Gail Forman. This is a book about a girl who's in a terrible accident, and she kind of has to choose whether she is going to die or stay alive, and she's kind of in this in-between place, and it's about her watching her family kind of deal with the fact that she is in intensive care and she could die, and it's really good. I really loved it. I was up until like 4:30 in the morning the day I started it because I just couldn't put it down. I had to read it all in one sitting and find out what happened, and by the time I was finished it I had tears streaming down my face because it was just so good. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap, we just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. A book that made you fall asleep. And for this one I'm going to go with Outpost by Adam Baker, I think it is. It's kind of a zombie apocalyptic novel, and it's set kind of on a ship in the Antarctic, and I think it's the Antarctic or the Arctic Circle or somewhere, but I thought it was going to be really good, and it ended up being really boring, and the zombies were just stupid, and the main character wasn't very fun to follow. She was very drab, and I just really didn't like it. When out on the roof there rose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. And this one has to be any of the scenes from Uprooted when the characters had to go into the wood, because in this book there is a magical land, there is magic, and there is a wood that is kind of enchanted with very deep, dark, ugly magic, and there's a lot of things in this wood that can kill you. So anytime there's any kind of scene in this wood and any of the characters had to go in, I was just so tense because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if they were going to be okay. When what to my wondering eye should appear, a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. A book that was magical, or a book with a magical object. And for this one I'm going to choose The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, because this whole book was just completely magical. The circus in the book is magical, it's created by magic, and it is just truly enchanting. I really love this book, I really love the writing, and it's just an amazing magical book. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. A twinkle-eyed character that you loved, and for this one I'm choosing Hagrid from Harry Potter because he is very twinkly eyes and he just makes me so happy and I love him. So up to the housetops the coursers they flew, the sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too. A book that made you fly to another land, and for this one I am choosing The Faithful and the Fallen series by John Gwynne. I really love this land. Every time I read it and I just go straight into it, I kind of fall into the book. There's different parts in this land. It's a very large kingdom, very large world, and there's really good world building in it, and I really love it, and I just go straight there every time I pick up the books. I'm in there, I'm in the mountains, I'm in the desert with all the characters, and it's amazing. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. A book animal that you love, and for this one, because I've just reread The Hunger Games, I'm going to go for Buttercup from The Hunger Games. He is just such a tenacious animal that is able to survive literally anything. He survived the firebombs in District 12, he managed to get out of District 13, I have no idea how he managed to get out, and he is just one tough animal, and I think he actually really suited Katniss because she's a little bit like him in being able to survive against the odds. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A character that was more than their first impression, and for this one I've chosen Tris from Divergent. I think she kind of comes across as a little bit plain, a little bit scared and timid when we first get to know her, but then of course we soon learn that she is not timid at all, and when she is kind of away from her faction and goes into the Dauntless, she becomes a really lively, brave character, and she really says, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. A book or a book character that made you laugh. And for this one I'm choosing Personally I Blame My Fairy Godmother by Claudia Carroll. This is kind of a chick lit book about a girl who has to move back in with her stepmother and her stepsisters after things don't go right, and she kind of becomes their personal slave. And it's just really funny. It's kind of like a chick lit retelling of Cinderella, and it's just a really funny book, and I really enjoyed reading it. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know that I had nothing to dread, a book that makes you feel safe. And for this one I'm choosing a childhood novel, which is The Silver Brumby by Eli Mitchell. This is a book I read when I was quite young. I was about 8 or 9, and it took me a very long time to finally find it in a bookshop in Ireland, and when I did I was just really happy, and I like to read it every now and again because it's a short book, it's a children's book, and I just love going back and remembering my absolute wonder when I first read it, and it just makes me feel safe because I just love it so much. He spoke not a word but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. A book that made you feel that you really needed to work at it, or you had to work hard to concentrate on it. And for this one I've chosen The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This is just a kind of a strange dystopian novel that was written quite a long time ago, so I had to really feel that I had to concentrate on it or else I would miss something big. It just wasn't my usual style of writing, so I had to kind of concentrate a lot on it, but I did end up enjoying the book a lot. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night, a book with a magnificent ending, and I really enjoyed the ending to Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I think it just all came together really nicely. There was a great scene at the end where everything was kind of coming together, great action scenes, really tense, really kind of on the edge of your seat, and I just really enjoyed it. So that is my Twas the Night Before Christmas book tag, and I'm just going to tag everyone down below. I just want everyone to do it, and if you're watching it, you do it, I tag you. And thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a really Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys again next time. So bye!